Are you among the millions of Americans being affected by inflation at the gas pump, at the grocery store, through energy prices? Well, if you are, over the course of the next few short minutes, I'm going to share with you a little hidden wealth secret that could have protected the purchasing power of your money where your family would not be feeling the effects of inflation today. Are you ready? Well, buckle up your seatbelts because I want to take you over to the informed side. So my name is Mark Pyers, home-based business tax coach and wealth coach. I'm also the CEO and founder, along with my beautiful wife and business partner, Mrs. Levita Pyers, of an incredible tax educational platform where we educate the masses directly from the IRS. The more you know, the less you legally, ethically owe in taxes. Over the course of the next few short minutes, I want to ask you for your undivided attention as I'm going to share with you some information that is not being taught in the traditional educational system that could have protected you from the skyrocketing gas prices and food prices, but more importantly, how you can also increase your income, reduce taxation, and start to rid yourself of debt. And so with no further ado, let me jump into this information. And so again, inflation is in the news. This article says inflation is costing you over $3,600 just this year. Inflation is at a 40-year high, 8%, yet Congress continues to print and spend trillions more than they have. Guys, I got to tell you, what I'm going to share with you has been devastating the purchasing power of the American dollar, affecting the masses, the working class individuals, the middle class, and the poor since 1971. So in this article, it says U.S. consumer prices gains accelerated in February to a 40-year high on rising gasoline, food, and housing costs, with inflation poised to rise even further following Russia invasion of Ukraine. Okay, so I want to highlight that particular statement right there. It says following Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Okay, I'm going to call that propaganda, and I'm going to show you why. The truth is, in the United States of America, since 1971, the U.S. dollar has been affected by inflation, taxation, causing Americans to go deeply into debt. And so I want you to listen to this 1 minute and 18-second video very closely. I want you to listen to President Nixon tell the world on August the 15th, 1971, what the purchasing power of your dollar would be in the future as he disconnected our money from the gold standard. Let's listen.
The strength of a nation's currency is based on the strength of that nation's economy. And the American economy is by far the strongest in the world. Accordingly, I have directed the Secretary of the Treasury to take the action necessary to defend the dollar against the speculators. I have directed Secretary Connally to suspend temporarily the convertibility of the dollar into gold or other reserve assets, except in amounts and conditions determined to be in the interest of monetary stability and in the best interest of the United States. Now, what is this action, which is very technical? What does it mean for you? Let me lay to rest the bugaboo of what is called devaluation. If you want to buy a foreign car or take a trip abroad, market conditions may cause your dollar to buy slightly less. But if you are among the overwhelming majority of Americans who buy American-made products in America, your dollar will be worth just as much tomorrow as it is today.
Okay, I have to pause that right there, and I want to play that one more time. I want you to listen to President Richard Nixon say to you what the value of your dollar would be after he disconnected it from the gold standard. Let's listen.
The overwhelming majority of Americans who buy American-made products in America, your dollar will be worth just as much tomorrow as it is today.
Okay, so now we know that President Nixon disconnected the U.S. dollar off of the gold standard, and he promised the American people that your dollar would be worth just as much in the future as it was on August the 15th, 1971. And so I want to bring up what's called an inflation calculator. And what we're going to do is we're going to go from 1971, and we're going to say that you earned $1,000 in paper money that you put up under your mattress. And in 2022, I want to know what is the purchasing power of that $1,000. So again, let me make sure that I explain this very well. If you had in 1971, 1,000 US paper dollars, and you held that until 2022, in fact, April 13th, today, 2022, this would be the purchasing power of that $1,000. And so as you can see on the screen, here's what it said. And if in 1971, I purchased an item for 1,000 US dollars, then in 2022, that same item would cost you $7,098.86. In other words, the US dollar from 1971 to 2022 lost 609% of buying power. Wow. Now what I want to do is I want to jump over to a site called Kitco.com, and we're going to look at what the price of gold was in 1971. So I'm going to scroll down here, and you can see right here, 1971, 1 ounce of gold was $40.80. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up my calculator, and we're going to take that same $1,000, but I'm going to simply ask you to convert your paper into gold and put it under your mattress. So let's use this for an example. You earned $1,000 in 1971 in paper money. You put it under your mattress or in your piggy bank. I earned $1,000 in 1971. I converted mine into gold, and I put it under my mattress or in my piggy bank. And so $1,000 divided by the cost of 1 ounce of gold of $40.80 in 1971 would have given you 24.5 ounces of gold. So currently today, here on April 13, 2022, you can see here at the top left corner, 1 ounce of gold is $1,978.50. So we're going to take that 24.5 ounces of gold times the current value of $1,978.50, and the purchasing power of your $1,000 saved in gold, not invested, today would be worth $48,492,000. Ladies and gentlemen, what I just shared with you has been the hidden wealth secret of the wealthy for over 51 years, untaught to the masses. Now, I know some of you said, okay, I just got lost. I don't understand what just happened. And so let me do that one more time. The same $1,000 in 1971, opposed to being saved in paper that doesn't store value, you're going to simply convert it into gold. And so 1 ounce of gold in 1971 was $40.80. So we're going to divide that by $40.80. That's going to tell us how many ounces of gold we could have purchased, which was 24.5 ounces of gold. Again, currently today, on April 13, 2022, 1 ounce of gold is $1,978.50. So we're going to go times $1,978.50, and the value of your $1,000 saved in gold in 1971 would be worth today $48,492,000. How many of those $1,000, if you were alive in 1971 and you had learned this information, would you have simply converted apples to apples into physical gold? And so for those of you that may be thinking, Well, I wasn't alive in 1971, and maybe that's just a fluke. I want to share with you another illustration. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this a little bit more current. We're going to go to 2019 to 2022. We're going to take the same $1,000, and when I hit calculate, here's what you just learned. In 2019, if you had saved 1,000 US paper dollars to 2022, today, that $1,000 to buy the same goods and services would need $1,124.57, which means you would have to add an additional $124.57, and or your money lost 12.5% in purchasing power. I often say it's not how much money you make that counts, it's how much money you keep. But at the end of the day, it's not how much money you keep, it's how much your money will buy. And so let's take a look at this same scenario utilizing gold. And so you can see right here on April 19th, and we're going to go ahead and look at today's date, the 13th. In 2019, on April 13th, 1 ounce of gold was roughly $1,290 per ounce, okay? And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that $1,290 and we're going to put that inside of a percentage calculator. And remember, currently today, 1 ounce of gold is $1,978.20. You guys can see that that just reduced by 30 cents. So $1,290 in April 2019 to $1,978 is an increase of 53% in purchasing power. So you just learned if you had simply saved some of your paper dollars in 2019 in physical gold, your money would have increased in buying power by 53%. Your family would not be feeling the effects of $5 gas prices. Your family would not be feeling the effects of the prices in the grocery store. Your family would not be feeling inflation. Wow. And so I want to take this opportunity to share with you an amazing company called 7K Metals, where you can simply acquire a membership and start to save your money in physical silver and gold and have the ability to extract your profits to be able to maintain your livelihood. Guys, I'm telling you, there is nothing like this in the market today. We're not talking about a 401k plan. We're talking about a savings account in physical silver and gold that allows you to be able to extract the profits at the click of a button. So this isn't an account that is tied directly to physical silver and gold. This is not ETF. This is not paper. This is physical gold that at the click of a button you can have at your doorstep. You see, the Sound Money wallet allows you to put your money back on the gold standard where President Nixon took it off and started to decline the purchasing power of the American dollar. And so, guys, in closing, I want to go back to 1971, and I just want to do an illustration really quick. And we're going to keep using this $1,000 example, okay? So I'm going to hit calculate. We know in 1971, $1,000 saved now requires you to have $7,098 to buy the same thing that $1,000 purchased in 1971. Guys, that's 51 years, and our money is lost over 600% in buying power. I want you to think about that for a moment. For those of you that are working and you're planning for retirement, your financial advisor is never going to prepare you for the financial devastation of inflation and taxation that you are learning here today. Man, I'm telling you guys, every time that I share this information, okay, let me get off my soapbox. And so let's go ahead and take this by 10-year increments to 1981. And I'm just going to hit calculate. You can see that $1,000 in 1981 would have required you to put an additional 124% more money to buy the same items, okay? Okay, let's go from 1981 to 1991, and let's hit calculate. That $1,000 would have required you 3 times as much money to buy the same item just 10 years later. Okay, let's go to 2001. And as you can see, the US dollar has always throughout history declined in purchasing power. People ask me all the time, Mark, do you believe that the US dollar could collapse? Do you believe that the US dollar could go to zero? And I suggest to you, ladies and gentlemen, that the US dollar since 1971 has always gone to zero. If $1,000 in 1971 now requires $4,370 to buy the same goods and services that it did in 1971 when you earned the money, is not the epitome of 100% collapse, then I don't know what is. And so, guys, we've got a solution. And as I often teach, the 3 pillars of cancer when it comes to your money. Number 1 is inflation. It is a hidden tax that you can't see. Number 2 is taxation. It's the tax that you can't control legally, ethically, and morally. And we teach that information directly from my friends at the IRS. How would you like to learn how to be able to save your money in physical silver and gold, at the same time drastically, legally, ethically, and morally reduce taxation, and while protecting your money against inflation, start to rid yourself of all payable debt? Well, you have the ability to do so. The Sound Money Wallet is giving the people back the power to protecting the value of their money. If you would like to learn more about 7K Metals and the amazing opportunity of being able to protect the value of the purchasing power of your money, collect assets, be able to reduce taxation, increase your income, and at the same time protect your children and your grandchildren and your financial future from inflation, there's a link at the bottom of this video for you to be able to get more information. And if you're watching this on my YouTube station, I want you to comment, like, and share, and make sure you click that bell so every time that I deliver invaluable information such as this, you are notified. With that being said, on behalf of myself, as well as my beautiful wife and business partner, Mrs. Levita Pyers, we wish each and every one of you prosperity, financial freedom from the current system of debt, financial freedom from the plantation of taxation, and financial freedom from being devastated through inflation. We'll see you on the informed side.